YouTube has continued to attack alternative media by demonetizing most of our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit our Amazon store or our Patreon page. Links below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and Black Friday is upon us. I don't know about you, but I like Black Friday. And the reason why is that 2011, my girlfriend and I happened to be at a Walmart in Porter Ranch, which is just northwest of Los Angeles in the valley, when a woman pepper sprayed a crowd of people over video games. My girlfriend happened to record it. The video went viral, and it paid for us to go on a 4-day cruise in Mexico for my birthday. So for me, Black Friday always going to be a lot of fun. But with the push of online sales this year, I found myself doing more of that than anything else. And you know what? Hey, I'm okay. Crowds suck, especially when you have a protest against Black Friday at a Missouri mall, where several people have now been arrested. So it says here, 7 people, including a state lawmaker, were arrested today at the Missouri Mall, or at a Missouri mall, after nearly 100 protesters disrupted Black Friday shopping. This is one of my biggest annoyances with these kind of protests, is that it's like, hey, other people, they don't want to deal with your crap. They're out here trying to get stuff done on Black Friday and be done. They're dealing with enough stress as it is. But you come up there and you go in a mall and you protest, and it's going to be, well, this has got a lot more annoying. And then eventually cops show up because, hey, you're on private property, and even though you have the right to lawfully assemble, you don't have the right to lawfully assemble in a mall like that. It's not really going to work out. If anything, the Mall of America protest from last year is a good indication of that. So the Galleria Mall, located near St. Louis, was forced to close because of the protests, mall security told ABC News. Yeah, you think people that are trying to get the deals on Black Friday to brave the lines at the mall are going to be very happy with your cause now that the mall is closed because your protest got out of hand? I mean, that's a fair statement to make. Now, protesters entered the mall around 1:15 p.m. local time to help and held their fists up, chanting "No justice, no profit." Yeah, because again, way to get people on your side there. They walked through the mall corridors and entered several stores, including a Dillard's. The protest lasted nearly 2 hours. See, and this is the problem. If you've ever been to a mall on Black Friday, you know how crazy it gets. If hundreds of people are going in and kind of snaking their way through different stores, all it's going to do is cause more of a traffic jam, and then ultimately end up just angering everybody to the point of where, yeah, cops are called, because when it gets congested like that, it could potentially be a fire hazard. What we have here is a video of somebody getting themselves arrested. So you can see that there's a crowd fighting. Some cops are trying to get control over there, and here comes one guy. Oh, he's chasing him down. All right. So I don't know why this guy's being arrested. People are clearly not having any of it. They're not happy about it. But they're trying to get him. And, at this point, this is when everyone starts a crowd saying he didn't do anything. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Typical crowd stuff that you see. Everyone's got their phones out. Everyone's recording, because that's how you get viral. As I pointed out at the beginning of this video, cruise to Mexico. Worked out well for me. So the woman here who took this video, she says, "I came to Galleria to do some Xmas shopping. Everything stopped for a moment because people were exercising their right to peacefully assemble and protest." Oh, God. Again, it doesn't really apply in a place like that. Yes, it's a public mall, meaning the public can access it, but it's still private property, privately controlled, privately rented, privately owned. All of those things equal private. So you don't really have the right to lawfully assemble and protest inside of a mall because the public doesn't own it. So there's a difference there. While I was waiting for the police to reopen the stores and let us resume shopping, I witnessed a kid who wasn't even part of the protest get slammed against a glass wall and thrown to the ground by multiple officers. I can say from firsthand experience today that the people were protesting peacefully, and it was the police who antagonized and facilitated the violence. Then this happened. It feels like a very clickbait title to a video, doesn't it? I was peacefully protesting at the Galleria, then this happened, and someone just going, and that's going to be the thumbnail, and it's going to get 200 million clicks. Bruce Franks Jr., a Missouri state representative, was one of the people arrested, according to his legislative assistant, Daniel Spradley. Eyewitnesses said the protests were peaceful until the arrests happened. Yeah, it's peaceful until it's not. But if the stores are having to shut down because the protests are causing problems, then the cops are going to have to come in, mall security, probably mall security, going to come in, with the police in order to help clear out the people to continue resuming normal business operations. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with them trying to take control of their property. Just because you want to protest there doesn't mean you have the right to protest there. And even if you want to go protest in a public park in many places, you still have to get a permit. You still have to let the city know what your intentions are. Just getting 100 people together to storm the mall is not going to do anything other than make you look relatively foolish when the police have to show up, because it's potentially causing, a life-threatening situation from you guys weaving in and out of stores and causing backlogs of traffic. Now, it goes on to say that right at the end of the group, police grabbed people. People ran back to try to help, and the police started throwing them down. It got real ugly. Generally tends to happen when you resist arrest. I'm just saying. It was quite violent. Chris Phillips was at the mall and said if he saw 5 protesters get arrested by police officers. It was quite violent. Police officers were pushing people's faces into the ground, and I saw one woman with shopping bags get tackled, but as far as I know, nobody was seriously hurt. Earlier this month, African-American clergy members and activists announced a boycott of the Galleria Mall and other businesses in St. Louis, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. The protests were in response to police treatment of blacks' bank loan practices and infrastructure neglect in parts of St. Louis. Okay, so I get that. I might be critical of what's happened here, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and not understand why people are protesting. Bank loan practices are pretty bad. I know, I went through that earlier this year. There's a lot of stuff there that, if you don't have just right credentials, you're not going to get it. And in some places, it's very difficult to get to those just right credentials. But again, those things aren't going to change by going to a mall to protest. You put a target on a mall, that is not where people go to get bank loans to buy homes or to open small businesses or to pay for college. I hate to break it to you. It's just not going to happen. And malls, again, privately owned institutions that are maintained by privately owned businesses and corporations, those are not going to deal with neglect in certain areas of St. Louis. And again, I don't fault you for wanting to see potholes and other aspects of like sidewalks or the roads fixed up and repaired. The infrastructure does need to be worked on heavily in our country. That is a very valid complaint. But is a mall the right place to make that statement heard? Do you think anyone's going to care about you wanting a pothole fixed while they're waiting in line for 3 hours in order to buy that summer sausage? No. When it comes to these levels of protests, you have to pick the right place, the right time. You do. It's one of the things like people always say, oh, when it comes to the criticism of the taking a knee. All right, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. What is the better way to protest? I'll tell you the better way to protest. It's actually quite simple, right? You use your platform, right, your media platform prior to the event beginning, saying after the game today, we are going to go down to the police station and protest silently about these issues in front of the police station. Now, if the complaint was how blacks and minorities are treated in America underneath the police, then you'd want to take it to the police station. Not a football game where you're going to go home at the end of it and be living in your mansion, right? You got to actually take it to where the problem is. That's the point I'm trying to make here. If you want to go and criticize bank loan problems, why not protest outside of a bank? They are open today. Just saying. If you want to protest the lack of infrastructure repair in St. Louis, why not protest City Hall where they would handle those issues? Why go to the mall in order to cause a disruption unless you wanted some people to get arrested for causing the disruption, thinking that would further bolster your claim and try once again to get a viral sensation going, as we've seen come out of St. Louis before, and then try to get more of a national conversation for your problem. To me, it feels like a push for publicity. It feels like, well, we'll go there, a couple hundred people, try to cause a scene, get a few arrested, get on the news, and maybe, just maybe, it will spark that kind of nationwide protest about our particular issues here in St. Louis. It's just, I don't think it's going to work. And this is why I really hate lame, dumb protests like this. Because if you want to protest, if you have the numbers and you have the organizational ability, in order to do this, you should be able to then focus it on where it needs to go. Pinpoint laser accuracy. Because you will find yourself in a much better position to see the change you want to see if you focus on where, you know, I'll give you an idea. You're not going to cure, cancer by giving somebody a foot scrub. That's effectively what it boils down to, you know, or you're not going to cure cancer by removing somebody's appendix. You're not going to remove cancer unless you go and get chemotherapy treatment and go through the proper channels of getting chemotherapy treatment. That's how you fix that issue, by going down the right pathway. By focusing on something entirely different, you make yourself look stupid, you make your movement look stupid. And unless you're trying to look stupid in hopes of trying to tap into some kind of outrage, public outrage from the nation, then you're just being silly and stupid and should be ignored just as easily. Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.